Hello. Hello. Okay. That should be fine. We're going to just do a little bit of compiler stuff, but I actually want to do mostly game stuff today. It's just there was this one little bug that I wanted to see if I could address first. Matches. Let's just put that there. Call. Oh, see, I put all these things. We could actually do this. Lambda. Yuck. I kind of don't. Oh. Oh. We can say get arguments block. This is becoming more dang it. This is becoming a more involved change. I thought this was going to be super quick. Now we're like making more structural changes to how things happen. I'm not sure I like that, but that's okay. It's part of the job. It's what we do. Oh, and then we go here. And here. And there. Boom. Get arguments block not found. Bruh. And then I used lambda again, and oh my goodness. Okay, so just gonna do that. Bakes is what is that? Okay, that is a thing. Oh man, now I have to store this elsewhere. I hope people appreciate all the work that I do so that they don't have to frickin' forward declare any fucking thing. So we're going to make this work, and then we're going to check this. Oh, except, no, okay. Because if there's an error, and don't add a bake, it is. Okay, so what happened with slimming down ass nodes? Why does anybody think that if I tweet about something I'm thinking about, that I launched a 73 billion Manhattan project to solve that entire thing and get thousands of experts working on it by 12 hours later? Like what? Why do I even internet? I even said in the tweet, I don't have time to really think about this right now. Like, rearranging the way the syntax tree works in this compiler is something that I've thought somewhat about because there are lots of different concerns determining how it would be done. The primary one being multi-threading. And it's going to happen eventually, and it's going to be a huge fuck ton of work. So no, I didn't do that huge fuck ton of work in the last 12 hours while I was asleep. I'm productive, but I'm not that productive, unfortunately. Okay. Like, what do people even think is possible? Okay, so oh, actually, that whole comment I wrote, this is not, because we can add multiple bakes, I guess. I don't know what's going on there. Okay. lambda. So this is, this just wants to be this is a much bigger change than I was hoping it would be. Okay. Chances of it actually fully solving this problem, 50%. Yeah, it doesn't. So we're infinite looping for some reason, which is actually worse. Okay. Let's actually make sure we didn't break anything else, because if we infinite loop everything else, that is a clue about what went wrong, but it looks like other things. I don't know how many of these tests have bakes in them, but some of them do. It looks like we're infinite looping something. Problem is, I set the timeout threshold to like 5 minutes. So we're not. Which one of these do we think it is? I could rebuild, but let's see. It's at least this one. Okay, so bakes in general are broken, which means it's probably not a very advanced problem. So we start matching, we do a check that types match on item.expression. Okay, the problem is if there's a yield, we never progress. But that said, I understand. See, let me just look at this and see if I should break this out. No, we're actually setting up a match here. This is more messy than I would like. Okay, what do I do? What do I do? So if we yield, so where does item come from? Yeah, we're resetting it every time, which is the thing that sucks. And so the problem is, so if we yield, it's because we're working out the type. Like the type is an autocast, and that wants to get inferred. And we probably, in most cases, could automatically infer it, but maybe not in all cases. And so we yield all the time in that case right now. And so that inserts a cast, but we then essentially throw that cast away later when we do this. So so this matches array. Okay, we keep adding things to it. No, we don't keep adding things to it. Why are we modifying this? This really should have had a comment, and I wrote that code, so it's my fault. What I kind of want to do is break this. Break this type check. Actually, okay. See, what I could do is break this into its own little zone. I kind of would prefer to do this. So item.expression is expr, which is the result of, it's either the arg or the, okay, so I don't know why we don't call sort arguments here. Oh, because I do know. See, this is a lot more difficult than I thought it was going to be. So that's great. Yeah. So kind of what I want to do. So the problem is we're doing a type check that might need to yield. And that's annoying due to the way this is structured. So I want to break it out into like a pre-loop where if we have our yield condition just in a little pre-loop, D-loop, then we're actually okay. So I could make an array. I had that bakes array, and I could move that back to local if I do this. And I could instead just put these into an array. This is kind of stupid to do that, but I could just do that. So here's what we do. I actually want to I'm actually not sure about my explanation for what went wrong, because I don't think we should ever be yielding, but maybe we were and we weren't detecting. We're supposed to detect if the type checker wants us to yield and the caller doesn't. But I kind of wonder what's going on there. Okay, no, I think I'm concluding that I made a more rookie mistake in the loop somehow, but we're just going to go with it anyway. We're going to say we'll come back to that in a minute. This is going to be like this, and this is not going to happen. This is down here, and actually that's going to move again, but this is just a pre-loop, and we're going to say bake prepped expressions dot add expr no check-in comment, because we might change it. So we're just going to leave that. Okay, so we have these expressions, and then this is going to be a thing, and then this is going to be over this. That's bake prepped expressions. And this part can be up here. Okay, so this is the part that's going to do now a pre-check. Okay, so this one is just going to be a regular loop over everything. So the part that yields oh, this might not actually work. Fudge. This won't actually work. I did this, and it won't actually work. Will it? Actually, yes, it will. Yes, it will. This loop does pre-type checks against all our prepped expressions so that if a cast needs to be inserted, such as okay, so this is not, oh yeah, no, that is a thing. And in fact, we want to initialize this down here, and then this matches. I don't think that's being used up there. Oh yeah, it is. Okay, so we are doing our thing, and then we're going to do a check that types match. And we're again going to do a more elaborate comment here. Check the types match. Oh, what's entry? Oh my God. Okay, so this is actually name, right? So that's actually better. Okay, so we're also going to move the, again, this is turning into a giant structural change. But we're having fun with it, kind of, not really. So that's fine. Okay, and then here we're doing this. So we're going to say, oh, we already did that. So the whole point is so that whatever cast we insert here sticks around. Oh. We can't do this defer. I'm a dummy. We can't do that. Because we would increment it even when we yield. That's probably the rookie mistake that I made too. Although I don't know. I don't know what the mistake was. Okay, so you know what? Here's what we'll do. This is a little bit more obfuscated than I would like, but bleh. Okay, so we do that loop, and then we come down here, and we pull it expert out of prepped expressions. And, I mean, we could probably set up this item loop up there too. Dude, I don't even know. Because this just adds a bake array for each one. I don't know. Like, this is one of those things where in the end, I probably end up combining the two loops again. But in the process of doing that, I'll have done another pass or two over the code, and it hopefully would have got correspondingly cleaner. So or maybe cleaner isn't the right word. Okay. More wise with respect to the code base. I'm just going to move all this up here. Dude, when will it end? I just wanted this to be a simple thing. From ident to atom. Arg, undeclared identifier. Right. Arg. We need to start running an arg. What the hell is arg? Oh yeah, arg. So I guess it's saying we actually deleted that line from down below. Okay. Find in block. Again, same thing. Arg. Wait, what? I thought how many arg? Okay, watch it totally explode, and now I have to sit here for another hour trying to figure that out. Any tips for someone attending SIGGRAPH for the first time? No, I've only ever been there once. I don't know much about SIGGRAPH. God damn it. Of course that wasn't going to work. Oh. Now the code has changed so much that I don't remember what it is. Okay, so prepped expressions. Is the same length as matches. Which we are dereferencing. Okay. I assume that assert will go off. Yeah. Why is that going off? We could move that up. Whoops. I assume that one will go off now. No. Oh, yes. Okay. That is the right one. Okay. So we iterate here and we add to prepped expressions. Oh, fudge. Okay. All of this needs to be inside here is my problem. So if we yield and we come back, we're going to fill it out multiple times, and nobody wants that. Gosh darn it. Okay, now it's infinite looping again, which is interesting Not sure why that is happening. I mean, I guess I kind of just have to see why now. Dude, startup is so slow with this thing. It's crazy. It's crazy how long it takes. I could compile my entire program twice in that time. That's weird. Wait, really? Holy crap. So we keep polymorphing something. Maybe the fact that we had an unhandled yield was actually covering another bug. But why then? How is Babby formed here? Okay, so I don't doubt that we keep hitting this and yielding here, probably. Okay. Maybe the lambda has a bake. Uh-oh. This could be gnarly. This could be gnarly. Okay, that's actually not the problem. Yeah, this one infinite loops as well. I just wanted that data point to see what happens. Is it the same bake all the time? We have two bakes that are getting frozen. But we're also... Did I make a super rookie mistake? Okay, we exited the loop. We knew that. We have a prepped expression. We add our item to bakes. Does this yield happen? No. That actually... Yuck. We have to move that bakes back local or else it's wrong. Okay, so here's where we're generating a new polymorph. So we set the substitution, which should in principle 58586666 58 bake substitution. So we already substituted, so why are we even here? Did I comment that out? Oh, that's in the minus. Oh, gosh, guys. Okay, I know what I did. I know what my rookie mistake was. At the top of this, where I added the checking if we're -1 is the place where we check for substitute. Yep. Okay, this is a Janene. I put that in there because I was glossing over reading. Again, often I don't really read my code. I wanted to save the expense of this error checking if we yield and come back. This is something that could only happen when we yield and come back. And so we're not allowed to, right? That explains everything. So like I was confused because like, hey, this thing probably wasn't yielding. Yeah, great. Hey, and that's the thing that we wanted to fix. So we have sort of fixed things. Let me fix this problem. This thing. That prepped expressions loop ended up kind of big. Oh, I can't. Oh, wait, I was wrong when I said it was wrong. Okay, no, I was wrong when I said it was wrong. So we're actually okay here. Yeah, so if this yields, it's fine because this part will not refire because it did its thing. So, yeah, okay. We're just going to recompile to make sure I didn't accidentally delete something. We're going to run the tests. And there we go. Let me make some warm tea water. Any questions about what we just did? What is the type of I? So count is S64 actually, and int is probably smaller than that. But I don't totally care in this case. Interesting. Okay. This though, this is something that happened in that refactor that I did, but I kind of feel like this is good that we hit this because I think maybe we were neglecting a thing that could happen. Let me see. Unable to get the arguments block of this thing. Let's just let's run this because it is cleaner. Actually, I don't know. Let's just see what this tells us. We also are going to start drawing on the Sun Chip Power Reserve. Don't mind me, I'm just dying of COVID while inhaling chips the wrong way off camera. It's just really bad to like do the wrong thing with a chip. Okay. I forgot that I left these breakpoints laying around. Here we go. So this proc expert is a type definition. Oh. Yeah, I mean, this is just complicated. It is going to be a procedure type definition, but nevertheless, oh, I see. Okay. So what I want to do at this point is look back at what this was, because I think I changed it a little bit incorrectly. I think I did probably dereference a type definition, but why do they make this display so unreadable? Okay, so here We had lambda or desc was the original thing. So it was like the way that we computed that. I just elided a little bit. Okay, so down here, we had expert. Yeah, okay. So if it's a type definition, we get the struct out first. This is a little bit annoying to copy twice or whatever, but we'll deal with it. Okay, we'll put a no check-in, etc. Where even are we? Get arguments block, okay. Okay. That should, in principle, fix this problem. All right. Now let's see the power of the sun chips really came through for us there. Oh, I never used the tea water. Hold on. Yes, I did. I just didn't put it where I thought I put it. Oh, look, we have another problem. Oh, look at that. Parameter poker chips is not found. That's very bad. How come I have poker chips? That means the name's not initialized. Argument names unsorted. Sub I. Why do people think uncommented code is a good idea? I used to think mostly uncommented code was okay. And the reason was because when most people comment code, the comments are stupid anyway. And also comments, because you don't ever compile them, they go out of date very quickly. All right. So they're very wrong a large percentage of the time. And a misleading comment is worse than no comment often, not always. So that's among some of the reasons why. There are more. However, I will also say that if you can write a program that people can understand without needing comments, the program probably isn't doing anything that difficult or ambitious. All right. Like back when I started on this compiler and I really got concerned with simplifying it and keeping it maintainable and all this, I just knew that I had to write a lot of comments. And there aren't nearly enough comments in it because there's no fucking way anybody's going to understand why things are the way they are without those comments. And it's very important for people to know that. Like, you don't just want to know, okay, I see that this variable is being assigned here and used down here. It's like, why was that choice made relative to other ways it could have been done? Is that important? Does it bear on some other aspect of this system, right? That is knowledge that you want to transfer over time. And you simply will not be transferring that knowledge if you don't write comments. Very weird. Oh, no, you know what? It's just the print is wrong, but there's another problem as well. So the poker chips is because the print is wrong. There we go. Parameter t is not found. Why not? Is there a parameter t? Let's check that. Probably, again, it's some nuance of how we're looking up the procedure expression. Hold on. Let's look at this again. Where was it? Dude, this is so unreadable. What am I even look? Why am I there? This is at line 86. This is up here. Really? It's not called block, I guess. Okay. If it's type definition, we do this. We say lambda or desk up here. Okay, so then down here, we say lambda arguments block or desk arguments block. So that really should be equivalent to what I did. I'm not sure why it's different. So let's take a look. At line 387. So random, it's in the modify. It's in the returns block. Oh no, it's right. It's baked constants. Okay. Here's the thing. I frickin' moved this, but I moved it out of a conditional. So this thing that looked up the name before is if it's not bake type polymorph variables. All right. Bake type polymorph variables means bake constants. It's a different name for the thing. So, you know, we're shake and baking our code. We're mixing it up. Okay. There we go. What when people start using Copilot to write their comments, then those people are fired. They are completely fired. There was actually a pretty good article linked on Hacker News. It was a little bit too cynical of an article, but it was by a guy who worked at Microsoft in like the late 90s or early 2000s, and he was like, yeah, programming sucks now compared to how it used to be, and he laid out why. It was pretty good. It was like fairly accurate. Casey was asking on the last HMH stream if you had a better solution to C++'s define functions. For the purposes of having compiled out debug functions, is there a way to do this easily? Yes. It is better in this language. I would say that what I would say is the best way to do it depends on like exactly how he's using define in C++, right? So I probably can't answer in more detail, but yes, like in fact, okay, this is something we're going to show off later, but one of the things that C and C++ are very bad at, because they coordinate via header files, is they're very bad at having opt-in functionality in a library that can be shared among libraries, right? So like, let's say I have a profiler package and I want it, I could either integrate it more closely with my game, or I could just tell it, hey, if I don't configure you, do something really stupid, open an OpenGL window that's separate from the game and just draw some shit in that every frame, right? But I don't want to link to OpenGL if we're not doing that, right? And so I need to tell that library whether or not to like link to all that stuff and take on that dependency. In C or C++, the way you would typically do that right now is, with header file stuff, like either in the cleanest way to do it is like the way the STB libraries work, where you set a define before you include it, right? But the even worse thing to do, but that's probably more common, is you have to like set some environment variables when you fucking compile or whatever, or not environment variables, but you have to tell your compiler to set some defines, which is fucking garbage, but that's how it's usually done. Now the problem with that is any other libraries that you use that might want to coordinate with that library can't, without adding a whole extra parameter to their thing about whether you tell them whether the other thing is turned on or not, and then what to do. And so because of that, like there's such a large degree of friction over that kind of inter-library communication that it almost never happens. In fact, I have a hard time probably describing this to C and C++ programmers because they don't even know what I mean, because that kind of coordination never happens, right? Whereas in a language like this, it can and does happen just fine because there aren't that kind of like friction barriers to like what's compiled into this and what's not compiled into this, right? It's just easy because you don't have to like preface it with compile time coordination in the same way. Let me see if this is the article I was talking about. Oh yeah, no, great. That's exactly it. It's exactly it. All right. All right. Let me see if I could find it. Did I do it on this machine? No, apparently not. I don't know where it is, guys. Ah, yeah, that's it. Yes, it's this generational divide in software developers article. It's a little bit, too cynical, but it's essentially correct in everything that it says. Okay. So I think we're done apart from handling no check-ins and all that. I want to move that test case to our repro cases. Oh, we got so one thing the audio guys did is they added default audio for levels that haven't been worked on yet. So it's not, this is not representative of what the game will be like, but whenever we play a test level now, we get music and they're going to add an ambience as well. So that suddenly makes things a little bit better. Some people have to divide their long source files because the IDE can't handle more than 9K lines. Dude, Emacs can't even handle more than like 5K lines. It's slow to edit these files. It's just that I refuse to let the editor sucking determine what I choose to do. Because that's giving in to bad software, you know. It's like if you give in to bad software too much, at some point, like the line must be drawn here. Do you know what I'm saying? You're writing a text editor and have done zero optimization. It's already faster than almost all editors you've tried. I am not at all surprised by that. Again, the same kind of discussion, like, you know, like Casey wrote the term bench and he didn't really optimize it. He just wrote the thing that he thought would probably be fast, right? Like that's all you have to do is write, and not even fast. You just have to write the thing that you think probably will not be busted ass slow, right? And as long as you're a reasonably experienced programmer, it's probably gonna be fine, right? Now that said, reasonably experienced, I have to qualify that by like high quality experience, not low quality experience. And the problem is the majority of programmers today are getting low quality experience. That doesn't help them very much. Yeah, the 10x editor, editing at 3000 FPS or whatever, is also not surprising at all, right? Not surprising at all. I mean, it's basically the same thing as a console. So you should expect approximately the same frame rate as a console. Like, and he even did the rendering a different way, right? He did it sort of the way that I usually do it, which is, I think, a quad per glyph. Whereas a quad per glyph sent as, like a triangle list or something to the GPU, which is different from what Casey did. Casey did per pixel operations and then divided up the character grid on a per pixel basis, right? Which is, in principle, is slower speed-wise, but the GPU is so fast it doesn't matter, right? I mean, well, it's slower on the GPU, faster on the CPU. So you kind of have to weigh those. Is learning game development from the beginning hard? It is not hard to start learning video games. The thing is, it is a very involved field that will take you many years to be good at, right? It's not actually hard, though, to get pretty good at making games. You just have to do it, right? You just have to put in the time. And even when you're not that good yet, it could be fun and interesting. So I encourage, if you're interested in games, I encourage you to just start. Just realize it's a long road. But the fact that it's a long road means you shouldn't be ever discouraged if you're like earlier along the road and things seem hard, right? It's just like, okay, I'm earlier on the road and, 3 months from now, I'll understand this better and stuff. I would rather fight the tools than accept their limitations. Yes, if the limitations are fucking stupid, yes. Absolutely. I mean, look, I can write my own editor in like a week. That'll be fine for me if I want to. And it would be a fun example program, for the compiler. So if things get bad enough, I'll just do that, right? But things are not quite bad enough for that, so I haven't done it. X editor is an open source. Dude, how about if you stop wanting people to work for you for free? You might get higher quality work. You don't want to be a customer, then be a patron. I already answered the if-def question about 5 or 10 minutes ago. The answer is yes, but it's hard to get more specific without knowing exactly what he was doing. But the answer is yes. Yeah, you can go back and I gave a more detailed answer a bit ago. You could go back in the VOD if you want to try to find it. It could be both open source and paid. No, people who do that don't ever make any money. That's like the way to be broke ass and depressed. You want to be a contributor. Maybe he doesn't want you to be a contributor. Like, or maybe you would be a good contributor, but 95% of the other people who want to be contributors would not be good contributors, and it's hard for him to tell who, right? Like, that's my scenario. Like, I don't want random people to contribute to this compiler because I don't actually think it would help very much, right? Versus the amount of problems that would be introduced, right? I am sure there are people out there in the universe who would be excellent contributors to it. I do not know how to find those people. I do not know how to vet for those people. Etc. So I just don't. And because this is a very serious project, like, it actually drains, people don't understand this about project management. If you're actually quality controlling and trying to transfer knowledge to the people working on it and all that, you actually want people who work a lot of hours on the thing, because that's how they get their experience up, and you know that your time that you're spending teaching them about the thing is not wasted, right? So I don't want some dude who wants to like hack for 3 hours a month on this compiler. That's a waste of my time, right? And so, like, it's just for high quality projects, you want people who are going to put a ton of time into it. And if that's what you want, then you probably should be paying those people, because the more time and energy somebody puts into something, the more they should be compensated for that. Like, that's just how that is. You could be open source without having contributors. Sure, but then you just get all downside and no upside in terms of development. The Raphael Colantonio podcast was interesting. I haven't heard of that one, but let me look that up. I'm going to go, because I haven't heard from Warren in a long time. You know, I know Warren a little bit in real life. I've hung out with him a bunch of times. So I'd be interested in hearing what he says. I don't know how to find this. I searched for Raphael Colantoni Warren Spector and didn't get anything. Maybe it's not on YouTube. Who doesn't post their podcast on you? Well, I guess given YouTube's behavior lately, I probably wouldn't either. Oh. It's
Hello
there.
And welcome.
Okay. We will see. See what Warren says. I'd be interested to hear it. Why a GPL would not be good? Because fuck the GPL. I will never GPL anything. Okay, so all right. We set up prepped expressions so that we can check, do a type check on them below. That type check might yield, and substitute a cast, which is why we are storing the expressions separately so that we can modify those pointers. We'll put a tag there, and we'll put another tag here. That's fine. I still don't like how complicated this function is, but we might come back and revisit it later. Okay, instead of bake type polymorph variables, I'm going to rename it bake type constants because that's the terminology used in the rest of the compiler now. So we're going to go replace okay. I'm going to call this constants here too. Okay. Okay. Great. Do we have more no check-ins? Boy, this took a lot longer than I thought. Oh, yeah. Oh, yeah. Remove outer if. Let's do that one. In bake, okay, so we're just gonna, because in general, there's just way too much indenting happening right now in this function, and I don't like it. Want to get rid of some, so there we go. Let's do this. Okay. So we'll run those tests and look at our last one. This is a copy pasta. Okay. What do we want to do about this? Like sometimes I'm like, is it really worth... I'm also worried about the dynamic specialize. But I think it's fine, actually. So I could save this. I don't love that because I don't want to use more memory in the tree. But it's only for bakes. Bakes are not that common. But again, it's a little bit going in the wrong direction to do that. I could factor it into a function that gets the thing. Um, that has multiple error checking, but maybe we're fine with that. Let's put that down. Oops. Oh, I forgot to change the variable names in the user code. Okay. Okay. I'm just going to make a function. Okay. Oops. So here, do we use this orig expr? Yes, yuck. All right. See, we still have to do some stuff. All right. It's not that bad, though. It's better. I feel like it's better to encapsulate out this knowledge. All right. Okay. And then this. See, even this is weird. Like, we don't care because we won't find the constant if it's not poly. Like, ugh. Wait, we don't even use that now. I'm like, wait, what? So, okay, this is good. This is like a nice, let's make sure if we don't have a problem there. 8541. All right. Hopefully this is all correct. Oh, I got to fix this too. Program print. Let's see what happens. There's probably some other one somewhere. Yeah, the I could smell him thing was a little bit weird, but honestly, most of what the dude's saying is accurate. Most of what the dude is saying is accurate. Okay. So, this seems fine. Let's delete this and this and this and I think that's it. Okay. 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 It is done. I still want to come back to this later and do some more passes, but I want to work on Sokoban today. So, like, again, I had been hoping that this... Oh, we got to set up the test case. Bake literal. Okay. Fixed inability to bake array literals in some cases. Okay. Yes. Yes. We'll probably ship this at some point soon to the people. Okay. Yeah. Okay. Test case. Bake literal. I'm gonna go regression, grab bag, array, literal, bake, boom, array, literal, bake. Let's just put all this local. Great. Gonna run the tests again. We'll build Sokoban. And then that'll be it. Got the impression I have an idea for a feature to replace any. No, I wouldn't say that. Wait, what happened to our particles that I added? Where's all the frickin' water particles that I added, guys? WTF? What? Okay, I guess we have a new thing to debug. Oh, they're there. Wait, is it water translucency that's broken? You can't see them because the water is not translucent. We're just going to build, we're building LLVM with the debug compiler, which is a giant snore. It takes like 30 seconds. I don't think this has anything to do with anything we were doing. To verify that, we could actually run the thing compiled by the build server that doesn't have any of these changes in it. Yeah, look, there's no no frickin' water translucency. So this doesn't have any of the compiler changes we just made, although it's quite possible we introduced a compiler bug that broke this, but I don't think so because it's probably a shader problem. All right, let me go to another window. Actually, let me just see. It's quite possible that somebody like just checked in a fix. Oh. There's some new shaders. I don't know how long ago those were checked in. But, oh man. WTF, what is, old compiler. Old compiler binary, because we haven't made release build. Let's do that. Its data structures are out of sync with what is in whatchamacallit, preload. All right, there we go. So yeah, still broken. Actually, let me check. Level, is it mirror underscore one? And so that is not broken. Okay, I'm just going to send a mail real fast. On levels that have default oceans, the water surface is now opaque, which means you can't see the cool new particles I put in for the playability, patch, etc. Investigation of this would be very appreciated! Exclamation point. Okay. So I have just sent that out. Okay. What percentage of features are already implemented for the open beta? 375% are now implemented. That was good. That's good. Commit. Fix a bake yield problem. Hopefully I got all the note. What? Okay. Okay, we like it when people work on stuff, even though it makes Windows make annoying beep noises. I want to send one more email real fast. I want to say, okay, I fixed the bake problem. It was kind of hairy just because the routine that needed to yield was a little hairy. I want to do another pass someday of cleaning up that function, but it should be okay for now. Just look at the diff. All right. Cool. 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 Okay. Just curious when the open beta will be available when you pay me $17 million. Do I take Bitcoin? Yes, you could pay me 17 million Bitcoin. Whatever happened to ethics in software development? How is getting paid for your work not ethical? You can't have all these left-wing people saying you need to pay people more, and then also saying paying people is unethical. Like, it doesn't. Tim Epic does have $17 million. It's true. You need to pay poor people more. Rich people get the guillotine. Yeah, maybe, but it doesn't actually matter. So, like, again, one of the big political talking points is you need to pay people a living wage of $15 an hour. Minimum wage of $7 something is way too low and all that, right? But then people complain about all these tech companies and say, oh, they're mistreating all the workers and stuff. Like, warehouse workers in Amazon make $15 an hour and up, which is the way higher than minimum wage that all the people are pushing for. So, like, their brains don't seem to absorb both of these facts at the same time. And then they also, of course, don't want to think about all the more technical Amazon employees that get 6 figure salaries and huge bonuses and lots of stock options. Like it's nonsensical. The real left people seem to be pushing for $25 plus now. Wow. Okay, I hadn't heard that one. $25 an hour. Bro. I mean, why stop at $25 an hour? Why not have the living wage be like $81 an hour? That's also a square, right? 25 is 5 squared. 81 is 9 squared. It's not that different. $4.20.69 an hour minimum wage. That should be somebody's running for president platform. Minimum wage of $4.20.69 an hour. Don't print, sprint, etc. Use any. Yes, I don't understand the confusion. What I was talking about in the Discord was a specific module that doesn't have a point. I wasn't talking about the basic any data type. The basic any data type is probably mostly fine. Am I not watching any Olympics? Like, it's way too hard to figure out how to watch the Olympics. Whereas I can watch Landmark dunk on Timmy's by just clicking a button. So also, like, I just feel like the Olympics is kind of gross now organizationally, and I don't want to contribute to that. So maybe if they have record low viewership this year, which appears to be the case, they will stop and question how they're doing things and will maybe have less negotiating power against cities and stuff. Now we're on to vanilla sun chips. Oh man. So many sun chips. Yeah, the whole business part of the Olympics is really gross. I don't like it. Okay, we're going to do games. I'm kind of tired now. I kind of want to break. I guess we'll do game stuff for a little bit, but if I really want to break, I'll just take a break. Okay. I tried to watch some Lemniscate footage, and the stupid ass drone that you use to control things that covers the bottom of the screen was so annoying. I almost couldn't watch. And then there just seemed to be a bunch of people who were bad at the game and didn't understand it and were not interesting to watch. So I don't know. I don't know what's going on there. So I hardly know anything about it. It seemed like a very missed opportunity because I saw that a bunch of people were streaming it. It's just the streams all sucked that I saw. So like someone didn't know how to work with streamers or something. Okay. I kind of want to do, since I might want to take a break soon, I just want to do something small, which is the following. The lily pads have had this messed up particle on them forever. It looks bad, right? And people say, Mr. Streamer, what are those red particles, right? Well, they're not supposed to be that way. So I want to at least make them look better. And they also just don't follow the lily pad. So we want to fix that. And then maybe that's enough. So are these in the particle level? I don't see them, but that doesn't mean they're not here. What is this one? Source 1. That's very nice. Okay, let me just go look at... Oh, that must be them. Lily. Okay, so we're just going to make these a little greener. People can change the shader later or something. I just want to make them not totally offensive. Wait, what? They must be using a weird shader because... particle fluid drop. I mean, that's kind of broken, so... we're just gonna use one of these. Okay, default material. Hey, look, it's already kind of good. Do I have like a global opacity? Yeah, we'll turn down the opacity a fair bit. There we go. And then we'll make them a little lighter. Maybe that'll be fine. Let's see what that looks like. Oh, I don't need to recompile. What am I doing? That is too subtle. Oh, is it not? Okay. It was relying on that shader. It was probably relying on that shader to billboard it or something. I don't know. To billboard it horizontally. What if I just do this for now? Okay, it's there. It's just way too subtle. So we will... This is so stupid because this is a temporary effect, but... where was it? It was this one, right? Okay, global opacity O dot. Let's make it 1, and then we'll make them brighter on average. And size is going to be like that. We're just going to have more size variation. All right. I won't get the Mr. Streamer comments all the time. That is true. It's still not really visible. Oh, God. So the reason now, we have a soft particle effect. Okay. Traditionally in video games, when one particle intersects a solid surface or whatever, you can see the billboarding, and there's this very unpleasant seam that happens, right? You still see this in games like Counter-Strike or whatever. So we have a soft particle effect that takes care of that when a particle is too near a surface. So the problem is that I'm looking straight down and the particle is only barely in front of the lily pad. So it's mostly being soft particle faded out. As I come down here, see, it's much more visible against a further away background. So that's not great. I'm going to revert this and We're just going to go back and we're going to edit the shaders. Instead, Soko ban run tree data fluid drops. I think it was called fluid drops, right? Oh, does that not even exist? Shaders. We have too many files even for this program. All right. Wasn't that what it was called though? Yeah, it's based on the depth buffer. Could I raise it? I mean, the higher I raise the particles in world space, the more they're going to not be on top of the lily pad, which is what they're trying to do. Okay. This is particle fluid drop. WTF. Fluid. Oh, it's in materials. There we go. But wait, it says shader particle fluid drop. I don't know what to do here. Like, this is just stuff. I don't want anything to do with any of this. I just fucking wanted these to like not look so bad. Like, we actually are hiring someone soon whose job is going to be to work on this stuff in part and make it look better and all that. So I really don't want to be spending time on this right now. Well, at least I can tell other people WTF is going on here. Okay, so it's not really billboarding it horizontally. So what I could do is I could just change this shader probably because this one doesn't exist. Let's just change this to particles. All right. Well, this didn't like that. I don't know what to do about this. I don't really like what I'm seeing here. Okay, so can I just turn, soft blend 100. Ah, okay. No. Soft blend 10. Aha. Okay, so now it's really low. So let's start doing all the stupid stuff that I was doing before. Just gonna do that. Oh, I can't even. I need to make it. I never made it so that changes to the in-game particles file while running get re-saved, but I should do that. That'll be worth it. Look! Oh my gosh. It's almost not completely stupid. It's not a good effect, but it's almost not completely stupid after all this work. Okay, so let's let them spread out a little more on the lily pad. And like we kind of want it to be more additive, but I don't want to mess with the shader right now. So there we go. And let's go back to our colors. Oh, and our size. And our colors are gonna go there. Yeah, okay. Okay, it only took 17 hours for me to fix the particle effect. Okay, I ruined it. That looks terrible. It's because it's not additive. How? I think there is a way to make these additive though. Let me see if that. They don't look very emissive. Oh, the emissive 10. Why is that one negative? This doesn't really seem to be doing anything. Anyway, see, the white would look a lot better if it were emissive. What? Color tint mode, emissive mode. I don't. What if I say particle fireflies? Okay, it really didn't like that. I don't trust editing these files because I haven't done it in a while. So let me just restart. It's probably not good. Probably the fireflies. Let me see. Nobody uses that in here. If I just raise the brightness. Okay, we got to change this part back. Shut up. Okay. I don't trust that. Okay, that well, is foam? It's not foam. What are you talking about? Hi, yeah. Okay. Yeah, I don't think there's going to be much else to do here. We need to start building out the particle effects. And I don't want to start doing a bad version of that right now if someone's going to like do it. So yeah, we're just going to leave it here for now. Do one last, make sure it's not totally stupid. Okay, it's fine. We'll do a better version of that later. I don't want it to be so totally stupid. Okay. Let's just turn this down again. Now that everything is good, can we just turn down the opacity? Okay, that's better. That's better. We can tell what it looks like. We can tell that it's still floating on the water. And then my only last thing is going to be to make it more green again, because this really didn't work out. I don't know why. It's probably the brightness. Probably the brightness is clamping it, actually. All right. Yeah, I don't like this level entry sound when starting the game. It's okay, so this is fine. It's relatively subtle. It's good. Shouldn't have taken us 20 minutes to get to that, but again, the particle system is like not totally where it's going to be. So yeah. Okay, so now we work on this part where it doesn't go with the freaking lily pad. And let's see how that's done. Okay, we don't store it on the lily. What is it called? I can just search for that string to see who's doing it. How is Babby called? It's usually done by the name of the group, Lily. Okay, so well, that's not very... Okay, there it is, effects. So we spawn a particle group and we set the mount parent ID on the things, which I'm really not sure that that's a good way to do it. I don't like that now necessarily. Okay. Well, I was just looking to see if there was like a separate attach ID on here. I don't see one, which doesn't mean there isn't one. But we have, so for the cases of like characters walking around and stuff, what we do is we have like the Bard particle manager does something a little different than attaching a specific thing. And the reason is because I wanted particles going back and forth between the Bard and the character, which we don't have, but we could do that today maybe. It sort of didn't seem like something that I wanted to have like mounted directly to a character. The water particle stuff is not really entity based. It's like based on, and also the mirror particles, it's based on the actual grid squares. So like this example of being mounted on something just doesn't really get tested ever. So I think that broke. So maintain mounts is probably where that would happen. Whoops. So this function, and this sort of requires some things like, is this in the entities move this frame? And probably not. Oh, but the lily, if the lily moves, we're supposed to notice that and so forth. So let me just we're going to edit the level a little bit so that the lily pad is already somewhere where it's moving. So we don't, because if I push the stone, we're going to have like a separate, oh, actually we could do this. Because from here, you know what, let's just edit it. So if I just put this here, it's on like a pretty long path. And we have plenty of time to stop and do a breakpoint while that's going to figure out how Babby is formed. So that's good. Okay. So, if I actually run this in the debugger, oh, very old breakpoints. Lovely, lovely. Okay, good. Okay, so I'm going to slow down time. I'm going to go to mounts. We're maintaining mounts. Okay. Num initiating entity 0. So the lily did not tell us that it moved this frame. Which is not good. Or things are out of order and it tells us afterward. Entities moved this frame. Where are we having this? Simulate, maintain, mounts, update, move, transit. Yeah, well. All right. I mean, update moves transactions is very involved. Moved this frame. Oh, that's not even there. Where is it? Entity manager. What? Has moved. So we are like not calling this. That is probably the only problem. So there we go. Okay. Hey, look, the particles are going with it. They're subtle, but you see, ding, 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 ding. That's been annoying me for like 2 years. So congrats. You know what it's time for? We just changed a global ass thing that affects everything, so might as well run a little bit of a Benny test there, just to do it. Chai camo. I don't have milk. I bought milk a long time ago, and I'm pretty sure it's bad now. Let me see. Milk says July 6. So I kind of don't want to do a chai cam. Whoops. We made a debug build accidentally. I need to fix that. Chug it? No. No. We're going to Benny test to make sure that this is okay. Do a smell test? No. No. Are the particles on the lily just cosmetic? They're currently just cosmetic, yes. It's not like none of this is fucking real, okay? It's just the thing that we're doing. All right. See what happens here. Expected number of fails. I don't actually know. 30 something probably. Aha. Apparently the water translucency has had a fix checked in. So we will, after this is done, we will update that and make sure that looks good. In principle, if the particles are cosmetic, they can't fail a test, but it's a computer, so you never know. Also, we might crash something, because I haven't, literally no gameplay entities have been put into that array. So who knows what the consequences of that are, right? So we're just running the whole game through everything and making sure. Is there any state that persists between levels such that a failed test would be fatal and prevent further levels from being tested? There's not supposed to be, but if that were happening, you would probably notice it happening, probably. How much have I been working on this game? My time on this oscillates. Sometimes I'm working on it a lot, and sometimes I'm working on it a little. I would say last week I worked on it a moderate amount. This week, not so much, until now. How did I end up solving the Maya plugin thing? I did not even work on it. I still have to do that. I think I'm just going to, for now, I don't even remember what the problem was. Like I think my vague memory is I just didn't like how much annoying work it was going to be to do the plugin port. So I'm thinking I might just fix it in C++, you know. But I haven't even done that. Why do the light shafts look kind of weird when loading a level? You do not want me to answer that question, so do not ask. People who have come to this stream know the answer to that question. Magnitudes is still broken at 100x. Yeah, so there's probably a bug in there somewhere in the playback, probably. Or in the, not necessarily in the playback, but in the movement system, there's probably still a frame rate dependency or something like that. All right, so oh boy, spams. Those spams are expected. All right. We might want to cut down on these. Oh man, that's a lot of spams. 32 fails. That's not that bad. 714 succeeds and 32 fails. That's pretty great. Okay. Let's do the update. I'm doing the update. Bing a bing dang. Boom. Boom. That was loud. Oh, maybe we hot load. I forget what level it was. Here we go. Hey, look, it's translucent again. You can see the particles. They actually don't. They're not as visible as they were. I don't know if that's another side effect. We're still doing some relatively major engine changes. Anyway, though, I feel like the lifetime on those is short now. It's just which ones are these? don't remember. Is it these ones? I got to ding and ding dang. My dang a long wing long. Where? I feel like I did this by cloning a particle source from here, didn't I? Didn't we do this? Don't make me clone water specs. Oh, it's this one here. Okay. I didn't think it was that one, but I guess it is. Okay. That's not going to matter probably. This is river particles probably isn't going to matter, but okay. Okay. Lifetime. See, it says up to 3 seconds, but that's not really what I'm seeing here. Oh, maybe I am. They're just real deep like. You know what? I think maybe size is the main thing. Let's try that. I don't know why these seem less visible now. It's the color really, right? Like, I don't know. Did I accidentally save? Some of that material stuff? Probably did, huh? Particle fluid drop. Well, I don't think this is using that. Particle splash A. Let's, oh yeah, because we wanted it to render opaque, and that is the shader that I know right now that's opaque. Those look kind of emissive, actually. Why do these look more emissive than everybody else? I don't know. Anyway, what if I just don't multiply it down by anything? Oh, that's nice. Okay, this is good for now. I mean, again, it's not good enough to ship, but it's fine for now. Okay, so I think the next thing to work on water-wise is the visuals of these water pathways, which I was going to do today, but then we ended up doing some compiler stuff. I kind of want a break, but let's do it a little bit. Let's start on it. So the conclusion we came to when discussing all this, because last time when I was doing this on stream, I was like, oh, do I want to make an array on the GPU and how do I coordinate that and all that? And what we actually decided was like, look, for now, just make a texture. And if you want to, change that later, then we could do that later, but we'll get it in and functioning as a texture. So what we did on this other stream was we made a, I think it was called connectivity map, and we printed it out in ASCII, and yeah, this connectivity array. So that's there, and we just want to put that in a texture and get that to the GPU, and then also use it on the GPU. Who knows? So we have this thing called the flow map already. I forget if the flow map is the GPU one or what. Let's just look it up. Draw ocean. So we have a thing, it's called flow map. Update texture. Ocean texture bits. No, okay, this is the wrong one. Where is this declared? It's right there. Okay, that's not the one that we want. There's a separate one that's like the gameplay map. What's it called? Okay. I'm trying to remember what everything is. Ocean tint. Okay, gameplay sample. Flow map. Oh, it is flow map. Okay. Okay. It's fine. Prep flow directions based on neighbor. Yeah, that's going to be the thing that... probably messes up. Okay, so stop doing this all over the code. So I think the move is to do a function that looks like this one, but is different. This prep flow directions probably doesn't do anything. Yeah, it just puts the same thing into each square. Two texels per square. So let me think about that. So if I want to do this connectivity map, it means, so I want to upload this connectivity map or generate something from it. I think maybe I just want to generate something from it that's at the same resolution as this other thing. And I'm trying to think of how many things we could have in a corner. Like, if I represent this ocean square as a 2x2 grid, you could imagine putting different things in the grid. Like, here's an outer corner because it's the ocean's turning. Here's an inner corner. Here's etc. But I don't necessarily think that's good because you might want to style it so that the outer corner goes past the halfway mark and all these things. So maybe I don't want it to be the same resolution. Maybe I want it to be 1 per grid square, and we just save the connectivity. And then we use that because there's like, in terms of determining what shape it is, there's essentially 16 different ones. And there's actually there's a 4-way intersection, except there isn't because you can't have that. Is there? Wait. No, you can't. So there's 3 or 4 T junctions, right? For each rotation, there's 4. I mean 1 per rotation, so there are 4 T junctions. There is 4 corners. That's 8. There are 2 go all the way across, horizontal and vertical, and then there are 4 one ways, and then there's an empty. Yeah, so the only one that we can't have is a 4-way connection. That's like not legal due to the gameplay rules. Wait, is it? Yeah, it is actually. No, we could have a 4-way connection. That absolutely, okay, so all 16 are legal. So, yeah. I think that that's what I'm going to do is just have a texture map that says which tile it is. Now, I'm pretty sure maybe I can just copy that value into both squares of the gameplay map because I'm pretty sure we are not really using all of it. Like we're using this ZW coordinate, but I don't know if anybody else is using that. And so if we're about to replace this code with something that uses it differently, then we don't need those 2 coordinates anymore. And, well, we don't even need one of them at all because we only need 1 coordinate to say an integer. Okay. Let me just check that really fast. And there's no real guarantee on this because I don't know what these variables are called because I haven't looked at the shaders in a long time. Okay. It's just called Ocean Sea. Flow map. So ocean and ocean sea. Really? Nobody uses this. That's actually good because it means we can totally change it. But I feel like this is all coming from a header file somewhere. Ocean parameter C. Okay, so flow map sampler. Yeah, literally nobody else uses it. I thought that the fluid sim stuff used that map. So maybe it does, but under a different name. Gameplay sample, here we go. Oh, it is using ZW. It's not really using the X or Y coordinates, though. Nobody is. Like this says G, but that just means Z, actually. Or no, Y, that is Y. Never mind. For the shore mask, which we're not currently using because that's disabled, although we'll probably bring that back. Does anyone use the X coordinate? What do we even put in the X coordinate? Pressure, blocking. So we are in theory using all of these right now. So we could just leave it. Yeah, I'll just make a new texture, and then if we want to change it later, we can. So I'm going to say okay. This is silly to have this be a bitmap pointer. Oops. Same here, and then we do this, and we could do the same thing. Instead of ocean, we do connectivity. Okay. Then this thing will just be connectivity. Okay. And then again, I guess we want to init this in the beginning and then only update certain points of it as it is changed. But in order to get most of the work done, we actually only need to initialize it, right? Because then we can make sure the rendering all works and all that stuff. And then later on, blah, blah, blah. Okay. I'm just going to copy this to update connectivity texture, and that looks like a horrible copy pasta, but I think oh, well, we're going to want to factor some things out. Like, okay, we don't care about pressure or anything. Where is the... Not river particles. Okay. Ocean connectivity, decomp ocean value, blah, 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 ocean dot connectivity index. Okay. So for now, I think we basically just want to put this into one channel of the texture. So like, and this doesn't really need to happen. Nah. All right. Okay. So these are the 4 different channels of the texture. So we're just going to put the bits in the red and assert bits is less than or equal to 15. And we'll multiply by 16 because, I don't know, that'll make it so if we just visualize the texture, it'll be pretty obvious. And I guess we're covering for numerical error in some way. Okay, this L is not there. So source index is the ocean value. Okay. So okay. Ocean dot connectivity. How do we get the ocean? Oh, it's called map. That's very confusing. Whoops, bits is ocean connectivity. Okay, so cast to U8. Okay, so we now do not do anything there, but we're ready to do things. And that's what matters. So I'm actually going to take a break. We'll pick this up again later. And what we will do at that time is we'll fill out the texture. We'll upload it to the thing. And then we'll just, at the very first, we'll make sure that that channel at least seems correct. And one easy way to do it is just, add red to the ocean wherever the bits are non-zero and take it away when they are zero, right? Then you make sure everything's lined up and all that. And then you could do stuff like check north, south, east, and west that way by doing the appropriate bits. And then once that is done, then, and here's the reason I want to take a break, is just think about like, what's really the best way to do this in the shader? Just make nice little rounded curved shapes based on those flags. There's obviously some naive things that I could do, and they are maybe it'll be just a little slower than I would like as a per pixel operation if I just write all that stuff out. So it might be good to think about if there's a better thing to do. Maybe not, though. Maybe not. Okay. Thanks, everybody, for coming by. Hope people got something out of it, out of our little 3-hour stream today. I might stream again later tonight to pick up on this. I might not. We'll see. See what happens. See how late dinner goes and all that stuff. All right. Thanks, everybody. See you later.